Hello, everybody. Welcome to Cheer Chat. Is this giving French? I just got back from Paris, you guys, on Sunday, and all about France right now, so just bear with me. I'm so excited to talk to you guys. I've been traveling all over the place, and I'm finally back at home, and there's so much to catch you up on. Um, I'm gonna drink some rosé. Happy freaking hump day. Okay, what are we talking about today? I could go on and on and on about my traveling the past couple weeks, but today we are going to talk about the Super Bowl reunion um, that I just attended with for the Seahawks. This was like a couple weeks ago now, but it was an amazing time. And somebody wrote in and had a great idea to get a poll from you guys. Sorry for the background noise. Oh, what a difference that made. Okay, to get a poll from you guys about like your alumni reunions and do a little bit of comparison note taking on just what the experience was like. So I'm going to share with you my entire weekend for the Super Bowl and also share my thoughts on the showcase, which was part of our Super Bowl reunion weekend. You know, it's so hard not to pick favorites, but I think I might have mentioned the whole squad with my notes, but I do want to give special shouts out, wow, shout outs to the people that stood out during the Seahawks Dancers Showcase. And then what else do I have on the agenda? I think that's kind of it, but I want to start by saying that I did ask in my story probably a few weeks ago. Matter of fact, it was probably the start of the Hispanic Heritage Month that I want to come out of retirement for the podcast and do an actual group interview similar to what I've done before for African American cheerleaders, Asian American Pacific Islander cheerleaders. There's a brand new AAPI Instagram account, PS, if you have not look it up. I forget what it's called. Um, I'll post their profile or share it somehow. But anyway, if you are of Hispanic or Latinx background and you would like to share your experiences for a group interview, I will come out of retirement. I will record a podcast episode. And I think it's like one of the only groups that hasn't been captured in that way. You guys know I'm a big fan of diversity and representation. I would love to do something for Hispanic Heritage Month. So I'm going to put my little plea out there. I had one person write in, and I mean, if you have friends, I understand there's getting permission and woolly woolly woo, which is why I stopped doing podcast episodes. Not stopped, but you know what I mean. Like it is a production. But I would love to interview you and just have us discuss topics that are important to you. I would love that. So there's my plug. I'm gonna have another sip, and while we wait for people to join, I have my window open because it's already hot. Um, but there's lots of airplanes, so I'm gonna use my rosé to cool down. Fall weather is just so up and down. You know what I mean? Like one minute it's warm, next minute it's cold, it's raining. Like you can't make up your mind. We're in that schizo part of the year. But happy October! October birthdays today. I know a couple people celebrating a birthday. It's almost Scorpio season. You guys know how I get about my Scorpio season. And P.S. Because it's the month of October and time flies, you guys, it'll be 5 years of the podcast being in existence on Halloween this year, this month. Wow. So I don't even know what I'm doing to commemorate that, but thanks to everybody who's been rocking with me for 5 goddamn years. Still can't believe it's still going on. Still going on, but you know, there's always some stuff to talk about. So let's cheer chat. It's time. Okay, so where do we want to start? I'm already hot. Okay. So this is you guys too. This is also like not where I normally record. If you haven't noticed, I'm in my like office, which is pretty much a box that they call a bedroom, but it's not. I'm gonna open this freaking window. There's just no circulation in here. I can't decide where I want to record Cheer Chat in my house. It's like I can't make up my mind. Anyway, I'm all over the place. Grab a drink. Here we go. We're about to talk about the Super Bowl reunion. Okay. So they sent a message probably like, I don't know, at some point over the late summer They being the Seahawks dancers management, that they were going to, how about you like shut down your work so you don't get interrupted? Anyway, that they were going to be having a Super Bowl 48 10-year anniversary celebration, even though technically it's 9 years. Super Bowl 48 happened in 2014, but who's counting? And they were inviting the Super Bowl cheerleading squad back to be a part of the game day experience and to actually perform the routine that we performed at the Super Bowl to Thunderstruck, which, was, I couldn't even remember it because honestly, the Super Bowl was such a blur that I knew what we danced to, but like the routine and the moves, I just was not. I needed them to send that video like pronto to refresh. But they sent the link to the video choreography going over the counts. Shout out to everybody who's learning all routines for the season by video. I don't like it. Like I like being in person and like asking questions, being able to. Anyway, thanks to my girls, we put it together. We got together and practiced just like old times. That was also very, very fun. Um, I actually traveled to Mexico somewhere in this little rigmarole and practiced while I was in Mexico in this wonderful spa gym thing just to make sure I was on point. Um, but I flew back early so I could actually be there for the rehearsal that we had. It was only one rehearsal that brought us all together to go over the routine. And I just have to talk through this rehearsal a little bit because they really just, just really tried to make us feel special. So, you know, being back at VMAC, that's our practice facility for the Seahawks. I mean, it's like you get all of the butterflies of like showing up for practice, sitting and waiting in your car. Like I came fresh from the airport, straight out of customs from Mexico, and hauled behind to get to VMAC. But just being at the building and kind of having those feels of showing up to practice, like it just brought back so many memories. You have butterflies of like hoping that you practice well enough, and but you're just so excited to see everybody, right? And so we start getting out of our cars, and it's just us, kiki keying it up because we're so happy to see each other. And then when we got let into the building, we, got to say hello to all of the management. We walk our long hallway that's got like all the pictures of the players. Like it's just nostalgia, big time. But when we actually opened up the doors to VMAC, it was so cute. The Seahawks dancers formed a tunnel for us to welcome us back to VMAC, which was, I thought, it's just the little things, the little touches that mean so much. But they treated us like little celebrities coming into this VMAC for our rehearsal with them, and that was just a very sweet gesture. Holy crap! I just forgot something that I wanted to bring, but it's fine. It's fine. I'll do a recap. Um, so we actually had our rehearsal and set formations, went through the choreography, just kind of catching up with each other. It felt like old times. Like that is not 10 years ago. I still feel like that was not 10 years ago. Hold please. But it was incredible getting to dance with everybody. Somebody even flew in from India. Shout out to Mariah, traveling with her little one. I mean, we all wanted to be there. I think there were only like two or three people I can think of that didn't make it to the reunion, but it was amazing to reconnect with everybody. And so that was a practice night. We get our little gear that we have to wear for game day. Why is every airplane going overhead right now? Rude. Okay, so we get our outfit, which is like this glittery, no, not glittery, it's sequins. I always get those confused. See, sequins top, some leggings, and we're wearing our own little white tennis shoes. Those sequins tops are cute. They snag everybody's hair. I kept hearing about it. I remember that, and it's not exactly comfortable, but we were blinging it up. That's how we do. You have to have something that sparkles on the field, but they handed out all of our stuff. We said our goodbyes, and like that was a Thursday. So on Saturday, they held a showcase where we got to watch the current squad, the Seahawks dancers, perform and do their solos, I believe, which were from auditions. And so it gave us a chance to see them perform as a team, see the talent of everybody on an individual level. And just, they had like older calendars and photo cards out, just kind of like memorabilia of our time. And, in talking to Courtney, it sounded like she just wanted to have like a celebration of Seagulls Pass and bridging with, the current Seahawks Dancers program. And just a reason to celebrate. Everybody was dressed up all festive and, just like old times. Like, you know what it's like. You get real cute, you get all dolled up. Everybody's in a wonderful mood. I love that there was a little bit of a mix of, you know, different generations of Seahawks dancers, Seagals. I would just say Seagals because they're different programs. So pardon me if I keep saying the distinction, but we had former Seagals that were there from different, periods. I got to see somebody that I looked up to the first time that I auditioned for Seagals, Brittany Wood. She was so kind to me when my hamstring snapped in half the first time I auditioned. But just getting to see people that you looked up to, you all stalk the site and see who's on the team when you're actually researching teams and considering who to audition for. And so seeing some of the people that you look up to coming back to these types of events gets me so excited. We'll talk about some of the poll results because I was actually pretty sad when I saw that not a lot of us in these alumni reunion scenarios really get a chance to like mingle and mix with the other generations of dancers. I don't even want to say generations like we're so freaking old, but you know what I mean. Anyway, the Seahawks Dancers Showcase, I have a whole little set of notes on that. I don't know if we should go there now. We should go there now. Let's do it. But P.S. I never win anything. Like you guys go to like drawings and whatnot, and not drawings, like you go to it, but anytime I go to an event and they have like raffles or drawings, I never win. So here I am, they're doing the whole little showcase. I'm like picking out and having something to drink, and they were giving the grand prize away. And I was like, I never win. And I shoved some chicken and waffle in my mouth, like a big bite, and they called my name. So here I am trying to freaking shove it down so I can hurry up and get up there. But I won tickets to the October 22nd Seahawks game, field passes, the whole 9 yards. So I get to see more of this amazing team perform, which had me pumped. So anyway, that was the showcase. I'm going to get into some of my favorite performances from the showcase. Um, and then I'll talk about game day, and then I'll get into the poll results. I'm trying to act all organized, whatever. Let me drink. So, to all the Seahawks dancers watching, I loved you all. I thought you guys were amazing. Being at Lumen Field is where they held. I cannot even say that. I'm surprised it came out so smoothly. We called it CenturyLink. It's Lumen Field now, but they were there to greet us, so professional, just so kind. And then they put on a show for us, you guys. It was actually so nice because when you're at a game, you get like some performances pregame a little bit, but I think every team should. I know some teams have like a friends and family kind of a day where you get to come and watch, the person that that's on the team, and you can invite so they can see you up close and personal. Like I think that means a lot. Every team should adopt something like that so you can actually invite alumni, invite their friends and family of the current squad, and you get to see them up close in their element, doing their thing that you won't really get the same vantage point or viewpoint, I should say, from being, at a game. It was really cool to be able to see their faces, see their technique, see their style, and see them perform in small squads. I just think an event like that is an absolute must for every squad, and period, that they should all do it. But because you guys don't all have the benefit of seeing it, I'm going to post in my stories some of my favorites so you can see what the heck I'm talking about. But I created some really corny ass categories because otherwise I'm going to pick everybody because I really did enjoy all of the performances. They were really like bam, 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 bam. So I hope I got who it was right. Everybody had like their hair different. I'm looking at the like roster, trying to piece it all together. So I call this like the chills award. Like anytime you watch somebody dance and they just like light up your arms and you just get chills from watching. I marked the videos that I took. So I first was like, I'm just going to take it all in. I'm not going to be that person with the camera out trying to get footage for the podcast. But I was like beating myself for not doing it sooner. I had to have my phone out. Like I just needed to catch it all. I didn't get it the first people that were going. So I'm kind of going off of memory a little bit. But the Chills Awards. Okay, I've already talked about Marcus because I went to Pro Action over the summer to their showcase, and I got to see Marcus perform and dance for the first time. Marcus, he's a second year. I tried to write down little facts about people, but then, anybody got time for that? But I was like, where did this dude come from? He's from Texas. Okay. So that's where I'm going to put that. Like, good Lord, Marcus. I just can't with you. You're just, his solo, just, you will see when I put it in my story. I wish I could have done it beforehand, but whatevs. Um, Taylor, another second year vet from USC. Um, the technique and the skill from this squad is really, really like next level. I mean, just so proud of the talent on the squad. Taylor, your solo just, I mean, it's the category. Gave me chills. Ashley, you danced to Miguel. You probably had me from there. I love me some Miguel. Um, and then I also put Mackenzie. You danced to Celine Dion, I believe. You guys just gave me little goosebumps, and I had to kind of shout you out in a different little category. These are just, to you guys. I know you guys don't get to see, but I'm posting video from all the ones that I'm calling out tonight with some more rosé. The next category, I ran out of cute little titles. I just put entertainers. Like, it's not about the choreography. It's not about the skill per se. It's just like you just made me like have fun watching you, and I call that entertaining to watch. Um, Ashley, you gave us the Britney Spears action in a freaking red catsuit head to toe. Shout out to you for even pulling that off. Like, that is not like skin tight catsuit. She was fully in character. I really enjoyed her performance. Everybody else that I put down here clearly had a theme in mind with dancing to Rihanna. Like Victor's Super Bowl mix of Rihanna. Drew, I believe this was you, hun. Like, you did the breaking dishes. If that's not you, I'm really gonna be mad. So many ponytails. I couldn't see who was who very well. Anyway, and then I think it was, who did I have here? Miranda. You did SOS. You had the red outfit with the gloves on. If that's not your name, I'm so sorry. I need to like describe outfits, but just really entertaining and fun to watch. I enjoyed it. My next category is called like risk takers, because I think these are the solos from auditions, right? The final auditions. And you kind of get a vibe of like what teams might be going for, but I really like to shout out the people that I thought took a little bit of a risk in their presentation of their style. Like, they really went for it. They went all out. So Sean, who gave us some like Frank Sinatra vibes. I'm sure it was a cover, but full uniform, had like, the white button down with the bow tie wrap. Like, just you just took us to another place for a minute, and I really, really enjoyed that. Um, Bailey, I hope this is your name. She danced to SZA's like Seek and Destroy, which is obviously like this groovy, woolly, vibe. It's just a whole different vibe, right? And it was like this smooth hip hop situation that I just was like feeling, and I was like, you know what? Yes. Okay, Kelsey. Hi, Kelsey. Kelsey, you guys, she has been on the podcast. My girl, thank you for practicing with me, Kelsey. So, you guys, okay, side note. Kelsey and I practice at her studio. She has this amazing studio in Ballard here in Seattle, and it's kind of geared towards women. You know, I won't say it's just geared for women who are postpartum, but just like getting back to yourself. You know what I mean? Anyway, she's a fitness expert guru. She's amazing. She has a beautiful daughter, Asta. And when we like practiced together, we had Asta in the building with us, like picking up the choreo. Like, it was so fun. I need to post a clip of our practice sessions. So adorable. Anyway, Kelsey's agreeing. Yes, that solo was just so cool to watch. I'll post some video from that. But Bailey, back to Bailey, she did this. I just really applaud people who like take their style, like, this is me, what, accept it, love it, here I am. And it was just so smooth. I really enjoyed it. Like, shout out to you just for kind of going a little bit outside the norm. I thought it was really you saved my soul. You saved my ass, okay, Kelsey? If I had to learn from video while I was in Mexico, you guys, trying to drink, margaritas and stuff, like, it would have just been a hot mess. I would have been Hot Mess Express. And P.S., I'm going to try to post video of the actual performance so you could see what I did on game day. I think I killed it a little bit, but we'll see. We'll see what clip I find. Okay. So Bailey, I thought you slayed it. I really enjoyed your you just putting yourself out there in your own style. It was refreshing to see that as well. And then I also have Aaliyah in this category. She did like a Top Gun themed performance, like you took my words and you rattle my brain, blah 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 blah. And then she like went into the highway to the danger zone. I am the worst at song titles, you guys, and I shouldn't even be singing. But she had a whole Top Gun theme performance, and I just feel like if you're gonna do solos as part of auditions, like you just go all out. You know what I mean? Like, give me character, give me costume, like make it a whole thing. And I feel like Aaliyah put her time, thought, and just energy around the choreo, the song choice, the outfit was like this military theme. Like she just served it up. So risk takers, at least in terms of like I'm going there, like I'm going all the hell out with it and just something different, something memorable. I think Sean Bailey and Aaliyah really nailed that piece. It's really hard to come up with like a favorite, and I'm maybe cheating, but whatever. Everybody I've named, and even the ones I have not named, you guys actually just were really so enjoyable to watch. Like, and not just speaking for myself, like watching my teammates and former teammates or people that, just alumni that were just so impressed by you all. Thank you for just putting your energy into that, right? Like, that's extra practice time, that is extra work. You guys had practice, what, Tuesday, Thursday, probably something Friday, so that you were ready for the showcase Saturday. And you had a game the following day on Sunday. And so I just really want to thank everybody for giving us a show and taking it so, I don't want to say seriously, but just like taking it to heart of actually wanting to like put on a great performance for us. It does not go unnoticed. And I hate that I can't mention the whole squad, but I had Powerhouse. These are just my random ass notes, but I had Powerhouse as the next category. And the people that I'm calling out, if I haven't called you out already, you've already stood out. But these are the people that I just think can't take my eyes off them. You're a star. And I'm all into you. Kind of a powerhouse performer. That's it. I'll take a sip for drum roll and dramatic effect. All right. First up is Gina. I got to pause due to bad connection. Hi, YouTube land. Really? So rude. Give me a second. That is so unacceptable. I hate the internet. That was rude. I'm so sorry. Bad connection, blah, blah, blah. Um, I was trying to get into my powerhouse category of the dynamic performers that just catch my attention and just my eye travels to watch you. You're just amazing to watch. And the first on my list is Gina. I think when it came to Pro Action, my recap, I was so like in awe of all the guys that were in attendance that I missed calling this girl out and her performance quality. But Gina, gee whiz, like there's so much power in your movement. You are like an incredible performer from head to toe, from the facials to just you do not let up on the energy, okay? And I just think you're so strong and so modest, like so modest about it. You have no idea how much you just like exude everything that you put into your, and maybe it's easy for you, but girl, I think people work really hard to try to present that much in terms of like power and showmanship and presence. You like I can spot you just based on the way that you move, walk, do anything. So Gina, I loved your solo, all that jazz. I think that's what it's called. I'm terrible with titles. Um, so fun to watch. And I'm just talking about like from solo to dancing with your squad. My eyes just always draw to you. Next up is Caroline. I know you're a fourth year vet squad leader. I mean, you guys just really bring it to that next level, just eye catching and so committed to each and every small detail, movement, etc. I thought your solo was really fun. Um, just the energy, like you guys, this is the extra category. Like you know how to be extra in a good way, and let it all hang out. Kiana, you're a rookie. Could not tell. You could tell for the other rookies, but I'm just saying, like, for you to have and bring all that to the table as a rookie was just super impressive. I was pissed that I did not record your solo. I think you were one of the first to go, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna just like, soak it up and soak it in, whatever. Anyway, you were so good, and just really a strong performer. And the last that I have is Lillian. Like maybe I have some favorites by now, but after coming to so many different things, but seeing you at Pro Action as well as just the showcase at games, you've always stood out to me. Um, just really strong. Everybody's a strong dancer. Again, it's like kind of like that extra, right? The thing that really just grabs you. And there were so many dancers that I could go on and on and on about, but and then it just feels like, Makita, you're just trying to talk about the whole entire roster. So these are my standouts. I said what I said. I loved everybody. I can't wait to come back October 22nd to watch you all perform. I just want to give a big shout out again to all the dancers that put time and energy into that performance for us. We really appreciated it. All of the alumni, I think we're really, it's like a mixed bag, right? Because like Seagulls is no longer a thing, right? It's now Seahawks Dancers. It's a different program. And I think, we're trying to be in a space of appreciating what we had as a program, but also, welcoming and embracing this new program and these new dancers and feeling like we're getting to know who you are and seeing how talented you are. So this was a very, very nice bridge of an evening for us, to see you up close and personal, kind of, because it felt like when we were Seagulls, just in the way that we interacted with fans, it's like they knew who we were, like specifically, like they kind of had their favorites and they would follow us. They would go to our calendar unveilings, and it's kind of like they had like a "you're the girl next door, we know you" kind of vibe. And I feel like as years pass, you just don't get to know the squads in the same way. Maybe over Instagram, but not like in person where you're like, oh, that's so and you know what I mean? And I hope this is the beginning of a little bit more of that kind of connection where you can recognize people and, oh, I remember you from your solo, or like, I know how talented you are outside of the kind of choreography that you do. You know what I mean? That's why I think you have to have these types of events, or if you don't have like an open audition where people can see the talent of the squad and get that chance to be a little bit more up close and personal with you. I just want to say that I really freaking enjoyed the showcase. I was out of town the first time that you guys did it, and I was so mad that I missed it. But this time I was there, and I also won the grand prize to be able to come back and watch you guys at the game. So I can't wait. Um, cannot wait. All right, so now let me get to the game day experience for this amazing reunion. Okay, so it's just okay. Where do I begin? Number one, I just want to thank like the Seahawks director Courtney, Melissa, Carly, Jackie. I really appreciate the thought that went into how we were incorporated into the game day experience. I don't really know how it's normally structured. I mean, I did a poll, I'll get to those results in a second, but like they could have just invited us all back, had us form a tunnel for the guys, all the Super Bowl players that came back during halftime, gave us a cute top, called it good. The fact that they were able to incorporate us to perform with the current squad, doing our old choreography, um, be part of the tunnel during the player tunnel, the actual current players tunnel, in addition to coming out at halftime and forming a tunnel for the actual Super Bowl players, like we were in there like swimwear, okay, like from beginning of the game till after halftime. But I just thought that it was really, I appreciated the extra extent to which we were involved in the game. We didn't perform at halftime, you guys. We performed during the first quarter change, with the current squad, and it just made it feel like extra official. I don't know, for whatever reason. But we had our whole like get there at the crack of dawn so many memories, but like, we're getting there early for our pregame practice, going over everything, our tunnel, um, just our old game day routines, and just seeing my old squad and just everybody like having that nostalgia of being inside of the stadium again was just so nice. And like I got my old locker in the locker room to set my stuff up. Like those things just kind of make you feel super, super giddy inside. They fed us breakfast, had us kind of stationed in a certain area. We got to be part of this pregame, they called it blue carpet, I believe, but for all the Super Bowl players that were arriving probably not on time and not on cue. But we formed a long tunnel along this blue carpet to welcome back the Super Bowl players, the coaches, even. And so we formed this long tunnel of like the Super Bowl cheerleaders and the current squad to welcome everybody into the stadium. And this is in our like touchdown city fan zone kind of a thing before the game. That was a really cool thing. I mean, just seeing the familiar faces, like it was just, and seeing people also being excited, like fans being excited about seeing their favorite players from that, from that era, so to speak. I really appreciated that. And then hearing from them like, "Welcome back," and, the fans were super receptive to us being there, which was awesome. And PS, shout out to my girls. You guys, like, we still got it. We still looked good. Like, we just still brought that, like, Seahawks presence that just made me so proud. We had women, I think there were, like, maybe 3 or 4 women that were, like, new moms like pumping in the locker room, in between stuff so that they can obviously tend to what they needed to tend to. But there's so much that happens over the course of 10 years, right? Marriages, divorces, babies, and I just felt so proud of everybody, making this moment for themselves where they didn't think, maybe I shouldn't go, or I haven't danced in 10 years, like having those doubts. Like we all kind of were like, I think processing our own amount of self-doubt of like, or maybe people were just like, "Psh, I still got it, whatever you're talking about." But it just felt us good to see us all kind of push through that, just to kind of be there in that moment with each other. Um, and I just felt like we just looked so, to me, the Super Bowl squad, and I mean, I felt this way about all my years with Seagulls. I think our director did a great job, like picking, not just based on looks, but we were just a beautiful squad. Everybody was so unique and like brought something very different to the table. And I don't know, seeing us all together again. Oh, y'all looked amazing in the photos. Thank you. Like I just, you haven't even seen nothing yet. I have more, more and more and more and more pictures that will flood this whole feed. But yeah, we all just looked, it just felt like it was just yesterday, and we all just looked happy and just joyous, and it was just really nice. I mean, I just I can go on and on. But anywho, we pushed through. I think we had our first jitters during the pregame practice of like doing that routine on turf. I kind of forgot what it feels like to dance on turf, a little bit of like motion in the ocean a little bit. But we got it out, and honestly, I just think we just nailed it. Wait till I post the freaking video. I'm about to post the video as best I can from the performance. But again, I really just appreciated that we got to be out there as much as we did. I mean, we were out there, and it felt good. It felt so good going out for a quarter change. Some girls had to haul behind because there's so many rules of who could be on the field at a given time with the NFL games. But thankfully, I was on the side of the formation and didn't have to run as far. But we just hearing the song, Thunderstruck come on, and just knowing that we were all feeling all the feels of like A, doing it at the Super Bowl, two, doing it with the current squad. Like it just felt amazing. The halftime where we got to kind of form the tunnel for the players coming out, we had a couple of the guys from the team that gave a speech to the fans. And I just appreciated that they kind of called out how special that season felt because, I've talked about it on the Super Bowl episode with Brittany. You guys will have to go back and listen if you really want to hear as we recapped Super Bowl, both Super Bowl appearances. But this particular year, the year that we won, was extra special just because of the fans. Like when we did our Super Bowl parade, it was like the coldest day in Seattle that I can remember ever experiencing. And we had fans lined up for blocks and blocks and blocks on end on both sides, all along the parade route, freezing their behinds off, trying to it just felt special. And to hear KJ Wright like call that out of like, this is for you guys, like you guys supported us. Like when that year, like when the players would play an away game, there was like a whole legion of fans that would like post up along this route near the airport to welcome the bus back with the players, no matter what. I don't know how they would get this information. It's kind of like a security threat in my mind, but they would know when the flight was supposed to come in, and they kind of like estimated what time they were going to be there at this particular corner to welcome the guys back while they're on their little bus from the airport, from their charter plane. They were dedicated, okay? And just hearing them give this, love to the fans, and us being able to be out there along the end zone, just to hear that and to hear, just them recount how special that was just nice. Very, very, very nice. Again, we didn't have to be out there for all of this, right? They could have just like tucked us away, threw some clothes on us, give us some pom poms for 2 seconds, and called it good. Um, and then they did give us a ticket to enjoy the rest of the game. They had us like sectioned off, and actually we might have been spread out in different sections. I mean, obviously, if you have like 30 girls and you're trying to give away tickets to a very popular game, there might be some challenges, and a lot of people had their families, their kids there to watch them perform. So I think a lot of people try to make arrangements so they can see them a little bit closer than the 300 level, but not to sound ungrateful, because it was amazing that they at least made sure that we had a ticket to continue to watch the game after all of this activity. But now that I've kind of recapped like all the things that they did for us, feeding us, giving us some outfits, putting on this amazing showcase for us, I'm going to get into the poll results of the questions that I asked you guys about. Tell me about your reunions. What are they like? What are some aspects of it that you really enjoyed? What would you change, et cetera, et cetera? So let's get into that real quick. I'm going to drink. Okay. So the first question in the poll was like, did you get in your alumni reunion situation? Okay, this is my fake French. I'm telling you guys, in my mind, I'm still in Paris. Okay. Anyway, did you get to perform at the game? The answers were interesting. 83% said yes, 17% said no. So for the most part, it looks like, and this is just for me following it, if you have an alumni game, they're doing some sort of performance, like quiet. They're doing some sort of performance of like decades of like, where they all probably a halftime performance so you can get it all in. But you all take the field or the arena and you kind of have some way of performing, which is good because we're here to dance, not, just sit there and show up and I don't know. It's better if you can dance. And it looks like for the most part, these alumni games do give you that opportunity, which is great. The next question was, do you get free tickets to that game that you perform in? And 28% said yes, 72% said no. So not getting a free ticket, and I don't know if that just is like a free ticket for yourself to stay and watch the game, or even just inviting other people with a free ticket. But let's be real, like it's not that easy to just, block off a bunch of tickets to a game, especially when you're inviting back hundreds potentially of dancers from other decades. Maybe that's a really tough thing to pull off, to get free tickets to the game. But those are the results. For the most part, nobody's getting free tickets. Shout out again to the Seahawks for making that arrangement. I hope that it's something that they continue to do. I think logistically, this might have been the first time of people trying to figure out, like, if my family's there and I want to sit with my family, like I didn't even know my family was going to roll deep the way that they showed up. Shout out to my nephew for coming through and having all of his friends, and they had a whole little block, great seats. I was planning to go up to my 300 level and watch my game with the rest of the girls that were still there. But yeah, I think a lot of people just ended up trying to invite people, you know what I mean, to come support them. So that was a really nice benefit. It sounds like not a common one. So we'll have to figure it out that they don't get rid of that. Only the club suite for the Seahawks. That would be nice. That's what, okay. So I did, you guys already know I talked about the Raiderettes alumni reunion that they did was it last year? I think it was last year. They put out all the stops. They had them in like the VIP suites that are like at the actual field level that you see all the time if you watch a Raiders game. They had them all gathered together in that whole area, which was like the ultimate, you know. It'd be nice if they bought out a club suite for you guys for the alumni dancers to kind of chill and watch the game, but you know, maybe that's extra. Okay. So the next question was, did you get free swag? And 44% said yes, 56% said no. Interesting. So when we're talking about swag, I mean, there's like the outfit that they give you to dance in so that everybody's dancing, you know, in a similar outfit. I don't know if that's considered swag or not. I mean, we didn't get extra swag. We got the outfit that we can wear whenever we want to with this big trophy on the front, um, and this extra sequins action. But, you know, extra swag, we didn't get any of that. And it sounds like most people do not get swag. I mean, that would be nice, but that's definitely a nice to have, right? I mean, you know, they did at the Seahawks showcase have like some Seahawks alumni gear that I kind of ran out of time and forgot to look at and maybe purchase. My bad. But maybe just who wouldn't want some alumni related gear that they can like buy to represent what they used to do? I think to the extent you have swag that people can buy and you're not giving it away, just make it available for purchase, right? Um, if you're not giving it away, just allow people to buy it. I kind of meant to buy it, but I did not. Next question, drum roll, was did it cost you anything to participate in your alumni reunion? This was rather interesting. So 65% of you guys said yes, it did cost you, and 35% said no. So I remember like approaching Courtney and I was like, why don't you charge for this? Like because they have a limited amount of people that they can probably accommodate this is like in the stadium the night before a game. Like they had it catered, they had drinks, the drink tickets and everything. Like this is not something that's easy to pull off like in the actual venue that the game is happening the following day. So they did have a limited number of people who could participate in this showcase, not so much the reunion, but the showcase. And I was like, just charge people like $20, you know, whatever it costs, make them pay for it, whatever. And I appreciated her response. Like she doesn't, you know, it's like a gift to the alumni. She didn't want it to be something where you have to pay to participate. Um, and that's just, you know, super nice to even have that kind of mindset about it. I mean, I can imagine for the directors who have a budget. I had no idea what the Raiderettes budget was for their reunion, but good Lord, like that had to cost a pretty penny to put together the extravagant like setup that they had for their reunion. But it is understandable. I guess my point is that some of this costs money to put on. Um, you know, especially if you're putting it on in a way where you're not charging for it. I mean, what are your guys' thoughts? Like, do you feel like you shouldn't have to pay? Do you think it's fair to pay for those that paid? I don't know how much you had to pay. I'm stuck on that one, I think. Like, for the most part, 65% did have to cough up some money to participate. I think if it's a question between, you know, not having enough space for everybody to be able to participate, I'd rather charge them because the ones who really want to be there will pay, and it's supporting the program. We know what we're paid. We know the difficulties, um, you know, with having a program, and you know, if it means that you can have the event, I think people will cough up $20. You know, 20 to 40 bucks. I think we would pay to be able to participate in the reunion. If it's 50, maybe we're not so, you know, who knows? But there's costs. You got to pay for the outfit that y'all are wearing. You have to pay for any space for any sort of party, any sort of gathering that you have. If you have food there, if you have beverages there, the stuff adds up for sure. And then when you think about casting this wide net for all alumni from different decades, that number can grow to some exponential number of people who are trying to like be there for it. And so it's probably a hard cost for directors to even contain. You know what I mean? How do you estimate how many people are going to show up for a reunion and then know how to like budget for food, drink, clothes, a venue? Like it adds up. So I'm not opposed to charging just so that it can happen because I think these reunions are so special and worth it. But I can see why people are kind of like, I shouldn't have to pay, perhaps. The last one wasn't the last question. One of the other questions I asked was like, did you have activities where the generations of dancers got to like mix and mingle and get to know one another? Ooh, we got a comment. We alumni was always $150 to $200. So that would count for outfit, tickets, parking, getting there. I'm gonna take a sip. I'm gonna take a sip of rosé. I'm up here like we would pay 20 or $40. How about 150 to $200? Well, god dang. But that's probably more realistic as to what the cost might be, depending on how many people are coming. That's a lot of money. Would you guys pay 150 to $200 to attend an alumni event if it meant that it would cover all of these things, like tickets to the game, parking? Like we didn't have parking covered. Nobody's complaining about it. We did not have parking. Um, she said New York, LOL plus tax. Woo! Okay, New York maybe makes sense in terms of like the actual city and everything, but I could see this number, like I said, really growing exponentially depending on the team and the city, getting venues, getting tickets, the game that you pick, especially if it's not like a preseason game where maybe there's more tickets available. The tickets one is a little hard to accommodate for, you know, potentially hundreds of alumni coming back from. This is where you need a planning committee. So then one of the questions I asked was the improvements, like what would have made it better? Somebody wrote in like, we need an alumni committee, a group of people who are going to help these poor directors organize, plan, like orchestrate this whole scene because they are actually in season. They have a current squad, they have games, and this alumni activity is definitely like an extra. I put in my story, ain't nobody got time for that. Like, it's a lot to manage. And especially, you got, you know, people from way back when, people writing in, emailing, trying to figure out information that was already in the email. Like, there's so much, like, probably administrative, like, nightmare of just trying to, like, plan it and just get all the logistics ironed out. So maybe having, like, an alumni committee, people who are keeping your alumni base, like, informed, locking these dates in way in advance so people know so they can plan to be there, they can travel, they can like know that they need to be around for it. Because who I would have hated if I missed out on this just because I was like I already had booked something and didn't know about it, like I would have tried to change it. But an alumni committee would probably help out, I think, a ton. um Somebody said better outfits. um and I mean, okay, the rose is definitely kicking in, and I have not had dinner. Better outfits. Like, I would love yeah. Like, what do we think about the types of things that they put us in for the alumni game? Hey, it's safe to go with some leggings. It's safe to go with some like jersey kind of top because people can have their different sizes going on, and they can all look uniform and look good in it versus like maybe something that we would like design for ourselves in our current whatever state of body type. But I think they have it right. Wear some white tennis shoes, put on some leggings, and throw a little oversized jersey on top of it. Keep it simple. I don't know how much cuter you can get unless your body still looks like that. But there's nothing like putting on your old uniforms, or at least like being in the uniform cat like style or vibe of the decade that you did it. That would be kind of cute. Like I know when I went to like a reunion for the Seagals a few years ago, I think it was our 40-year reunion. They had like we didn't show up as reunion alumni participants in these outfits, but just seeing our old uniforms and like the different uniforms that people would wear. I mean, again, can everybody fit that 10, 15 years later? Probably not, but I don't really know how else you could find a like universal friendly outfit for everybody to wear. I don't know that you really can get too cute with it, but better outfits was one of the suggestions. Um, Somebody also mentioned just more mingling of the generations of dancers. And, again, that, oh, did I get to that? Just that there were only, maybe I skipped it. Okay, the Rose is definitely kicking in. The activities, if the generations were like mixing and mingling, that if I did not state the results already, 29% said yes, they had activities where you got to know people. 71% said no. I feel like I skipped that. I think that's definitely an improvement that can be made. When I went to the showcase, again, I saw Brittany Wood and I was super excited. She was on the team years before I joined. But I made it a point to like go up to people that I didn't recognize or know, or maybe some noticeably, you know, people from different generations that you just want to make them feel like, thank you for coming. Like you could be like, I'm not going because it's just more of the current squad or the more recent years and I don't know anybody. Like, why am I going to show up? Maybe there aren't a lot of people from your years that are still in the area. And so the fact that they show up and attend, like, I want to meet them. I want to hear the years they cheered. I want to know about their experience. And somebody put something to the effect of like, it should be like cheer camp. You know what I mean? Like, you should get to know one another or have activities where you can find out who's there. And like, maybe there's just some interesting facts, or maybe there's like conversations that can develop because people are connecting because they're also a new mom, or they're also going through a divorce, or they're, you know what I mean? Like, we need to be able to talk more. I feel like there's a lot of like kiki because you're just excited and whatnot. But like, if it's part of the showcase, it was like a little speed dating, like tell me the year that you cheered, tell me your favorite memory, tell me a funny story about your time on, like something like that. I feel like would just add a little extra cherry on top, so that you can get to know people who may, like, I could see being sheepish. Like, I follow this because of the podcast, so I'm still trying to keep tabs on this current squad. I think for anybody who wants to stay involved with the program but has cheered a couple years, decades out, like, you might not go to this type of stuff, and it's a loss. I think people should, you should have an opportunity to get to know people. I got comments. Let me read them. You've seen what DCC does. They have a styled sequin top with your rookie year on it. I think these can also be given upon retirement. Yeah. No, that's a great idea. And that was based on your rookie year. Yeah, because I've seen that where they have like the rookie year on the back of the jersey. Um, I mean, if you really want to cover costs, that's something that you can reuse for the next reunion. If it's always based on your rookie year, like you can always wear that to whatever function that you have. I mean, this we did have something else where we got like a Super Bowl cheerleader. I think they allowed every cheerleader that cheered at the Super Bowl to go to something. We have this that has like the Super Bowl trophy on the front and the number 48 on the back. But if they did give it at retirement, that would be something like, this is your thing that you're going to wear on special occasions like reunions, and then you don't really have to worry about like, what is everybody going to wear. It's like the alumni uniform. Just give us one and then everybody takes care of it. Everybody orders what they need to order size wise so they can always fit into it. But that would be a good idea. So shout out to Dustin for giving us the tea on the DCC reunion and what they wear. So yeah, I think in terms of improvements, it'd be nice if there was like more time to get to know the more seasoned vets. I could see them being sheepish about showing up at some of these because it's just kind of like, not a clique, but like the current squad or the more recent retirees. Um, And then somebody just mentioned just like more advanced notice of like when these reunions would be scheduled so that people can plan accordingly or know about it. Like we're only doing this every 5 years, so put it on your calendar. Is it based on like the number of years of the program? Are they doing it every 10 years? Like let us know so that we can plan and actually make sure that we're there for it and people aren't just sitting around like waiting for the next reunion. I think everybody needs an alumni committee. I'm so with that suggestion. I think that's going to be an easy way to get people working on this all year long. I mean, with the Seahawks dancers, they were mentioning they really want the showcase to be an annual thing so that you have something to look forward to every year, which I think would be really nice. I think that, as I recap, because I've been going on and on, I think that teams should have some form of showcase, friends and family, up close and personal opportunity to get to know the squad event. Whether that's around your calendar, whether that's around make it some part of your season where you can invite people who truly support the program and just have an event where they get to see the talent of your dancers. Um, you know, see them up close and personal. It's and people would pay for that. I think people would pay for that. Your mama, your daddy, your family, any of your friends, $15, $20 to go towards the cost of putting an event like that on. Sell some swag, do what you got to do. But I think that is something that you can have annually to get to know the squad, to reconnect people, invite your alumni, get your alumni rejuvenated to continue to want to know who's on the current squad. And then when it comes to reunions, like if you're doing it every 10 years or every 5 years, like just get a committee of people together to help the directors so that they can figure out budget, figure out planning, give out a lot of advance notice. I know a lot of this comes like real quick out of nowhere. Like we want all the girls to come back and do something. Like maybe you don't have the benefit of knowing what the opportunities are from a game day perspective, but if you can just have your own event that celebrates your program, that would be really cool to get some help for the directors because I just think they have enough on their plate to be trying to plan a whole, like I don't know how they do it. I seriously don't know how they do it from NBA, NFL, whatever it is. Like they have a lot on their plate and putting together something that's got so many like a variable number of people who are going to actually come and participate, especially if they don't have to make an investment and pay for it. So at least it locks them in. You put something on for free, you got people not showing up. You got, who knows what your turnout's going to be like. You got a lot of last minute people trying to bum rush. I don't know. I think the planning is everything. And if you have enough help to try to help plan it, I think that will go a lot farther. But anyway, that kind of wraps up my cheer chat, you guys. I had an amazing experience. I'm so grateful for the chance to get out and dance again. You guys, for me, during the pandemic, I might have took advantage of some like free choreography online on Instagram when the choreographers were like putting on free classes, but I haven't danced or performed in 10 years. And it felt so good. Like I'm kind of speechless from just even practicing felt so good, but being on the field and it's an unspeakable feeling. It's a high that I cannot get from dance class, okay? No matter who's teaching it, it's not the same when you're not performing on the field. So I'm so grateful for the opportunity to touch the field again, to just like it was the best feeling. And I'm again grateful for the fact that it wasn't halftime. Like, no, I want my first quarter, even though maybe people are buying a freaking hot dog and a beer and maybe people aren't watching the quarter change performances. Like I just really appreciated like feeling like just like it was when we were out there on the team. I want the first quarter change performance, first routine of the game. Like it felt so amazing. And dancing with my girls, just seeing them again, it was a very soul filling experience, and I'm so grateful for it. So, again, shout out to the Seahawks management. And I also just want to give a shout out to Sherry Thompson, our Seagulls director, and Shannon Kingsley, our Seagulls choreographer, they did honor them during the game as well. After we performed, they took the field, and I don't know what they said. I was still in my little high coming off the coming off the field. Um, but these women, I will never forget. My first time auditioning, interviewing with both of them, and just feeling like they saw me. They saw something in me. Um, I will never forget Sherry and Shannon staring at me, and they were just like, "We want to see you like all dolled up, glammed up, or whatever the hell they said." And I was just like, "Shit, I do too." Like, I was a new, relatively new mom. This was a whole new world for me. I didn't know what I was walking into. I just felt very like chosen, and these women and their vision of our program, from Shannon's amazing choreography that was so NFL style. Like, I never thought I would love dancing to rock and roll, and just classics that I knew the songs, but I just would never have thought that I would have had those be my favorite routines. Um, Shannon and Sherry, the vision of the Seagulls from head to toe, our image, our uniforms, the way we carried ourselves, the way that we engage with fans. Like, you really built a beautiful program, and I thank you both for your vision and your leadership, your grace, your um I love you guys. And I just love what you have built and established. And I know there have been a lot of changes over the years, the past 5 years. Like I said, you guys, it'll be 5 years from the with the podcast on October 31st. And I've seen a ton of changes in our space. And, again, this showcase and the way that the Seahawks Answers tried to plan this weekend, it was just a way to show that we are still connected, even though there have been changes, and to get excited about supporting the new program in its current state. And, hearing people say, like, I wasn't, very sure about how I felt about the changes, or the fact that there are guys now, or the fact that it's no longer Seagulls, but still being able to appreciate the talent of the team and how amazing you guys look on game day. Are there things that I miss from Seagulls? Hell yeah. I can go on and on and on about that. But I did feel like I'm connected to you guys, and it felt good watching you. It felt good cheering for you. Um, Shout out to my partner, Drew. We That was one thing that I meant to bring downstairs. The other special thing that happened, and I'll end on this note, was just that when we got to the locker room, the current squad, like, we were paired with somebody coming off of the tunnel to form the tunnel for the players' entrance. And so we kind of had a partner, and Drew was my partner. And they each wrote a little note to their partner and left it in the locker room for us. And Drew's note was very sweet. It just felt like they recognized us as kind of like the OGs of what used to be. And the fact that they recognized that and kind of still felt like some reverence to us in that way was really sweet and special. And I just think that this is, the world moves on, life moves on, but you want to feel connected. And I just feel like this weekend, this reunion created that bridge. And again, I'm excited to come watch you guys October 22nd. And, while I appreciate a lot about the Seagulls program and the differences and what it meant to me, and I can also appreciate what's building in this new world that we live in, seeing these amazing, talented male dancers join the program, and just the evolution of the style of the program. I get it and I appreciate it. And I'm just, I feel like we're even more so connected. And I appreciate everybody hanging in there with me during this whole recap of like a whole lot. Like I said, I've been traveling all over the place. I'm now grounded to Seattle, Washington for the next I don't even know how long. But yeah, the international sassafrasing is over, and I want to catch back up on, everything else that's going on. We are full swing, crucial catch month for the NFL. NBA is starting up in October, so opening nights for a couple of teams. Like I got to figure out where I can try to travel to for games, but more to come. I'll be here. And I'll announce next year chat. You will be flooded, PS, of all my pictures from the showcase, videos from the showcase, videos of the performance. I'll probably try to put that in my post, probably not a story. But you'll see what the hell I've been talking about, the people that I shouted out. I'll find a way to post my nephew's video of me dancing the routine. But thank you so much for joining and listening, you guys. I really appreciate you walking down memory lane with me. And I will be back in touch. Please reach out if you want to be a part of my Latinx Hispanic Heritage Month interview. I really, really want to do this, you guys. Like again, I really want to do it. So reach out, send me a DM if you would like to participate. We will figure it out in terms of getting it scheduled. Even if it's the one person that reached out, like going live together, we'll figure it out. But I would like to make that space just to talk about the experience, talk about what it means to you to represent your heritage as part of being an NFL cheerleader, NBA dancer, wherever you are, like your experience matters. I think it inspires others to go for that dream as well. So reach out to me if you'd like to be a part of that and we'll figure out the details. I'm going to finish my rosé. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week. And I will talk to you next time. It'll be soon, not this long. But thank you so much for joining. You guys have a wonderful night.